Hey guys, Rip the Rage here. Hope you're having a fantastic day. In this video, I will be taking a look at cosmetics in modern gaming and what can be done to improve them. We will start with some good cosmetic add-ons, then get into some practices that are acceptable, but almost pushing it before we talk about some terrible paid cosmetic systems. Finally, we will discuss some of my favorite systems and what I think the future of cosmetics in gaming should be. Let's get started.
Enemy spotted!
Light 'em up. Target affirmed. Weapons hot.
Black Ops 2 was the first time the Call of Duty community would be introduced to the concept of microtransactions. Up to this point, there had been pre-order rewards and season passes which unlock new multiplayer maps, but those were physical alterations to how you interacted with the game. With the creation of personalization packs, you can now make any weapon have any camo you might want. While I had some of these extra camos, since I had pre-ordered with the season pass, I prefer to use the default camos. That being said, I do appreciate the idea of having so much variety aside from the standard earnable camos. Each pack contained a camo which would be applied to every single weapon in the entire game. Even without mentioning the emblems and calling cards that are also in these packs, this is still an insane deal since each pack only costs $1.99. And what a list of packs it is! Afterlife, Aqua, Bacon, Beast, Benjamin's, Breach, Comics, Coyote, Cyborg, Dead Man's Hand, Dia de los Muertos, Dragon, Glam, Graffiti, Jungle Warfare, Kawaii, Octane, Pack-a-Punch, Paladin, Party Rock, Rogue, UK Punk, Viper, Weaponized 115, and Zombies. If corporate insists on adding microtransactions to full-price games, I think this is as good as you're going to get when it comes to ensuring there is something for everyone at a reasonable price. Speaking of prices, let's go a little higher, but have the same, if not more level of variety and quality.
I serve as a rifleman in the militia, fighting to free the frontier. I'm a long way from becoming a pilot. But when that day comes, I hope I can live up to the honor.
On top of having nearly endless options of customization for those who own the base game, Titanfall 2 also offered some stellar bundles for those who wanted to reward the devs for making such a great gaming experience. There are several bundles available, ranging from basic reskins for $5 all the way up to changing the physical look of the Titans for $25. In the larger bundles, you could expect not only the aforementioned alterations to the Titan models, but also 20 camos, call signs, and patches, as well as 5 Titan nose arts. These camos are an innovation on the Black Ops 2 system by being applied not only to every weapon, but also to your player character, your Titan, and your Titan's weapon. While these bundles are a little pricier, they are bursting with cosmetics that can be fully appreciated thanks to mechanics like execution, showing the character in third person. All in all, not bad for season pass pricing in a game with free content updates. While we're on the topic of being a fashion icon, let's talk shaders. Destiny 2 may have several currencies and some expansions which could be considered overpriced, but where it shines is in personal customization. Fashion Frame comes from Warframe, a fellow looter shooter with recolored armor sets, but the concept applies equally well to Bungie's sci-fi sequel. Although it started a bit rough, shaders were eventually updated to allow you to change your armor color schemes on a whim. Combine this with a transmog system like in many other MMOs, which lets you change the shape of your gear to that of another gear without losing the stats, and you have yourself a pretty nice system. Regardless of the intricacies of Destiny 2's shop system, it is easy to see how even someone who doesn't play the game seriously can still have a great time by just playing dress up. On the subject of dressing up, we have one more system that I find to be fair for the player before we get into the dark side of cosmetics. The unsung hero of the hero shooters is Paladins. While I could talk at length about the loadout system, the allowance for solo play, or the character teaser trailers, I'm mentioning Paladins for a very different reason. The cosmetics are some of the fairest and least intrusive I have ever seen. As a free game, there are several ways Hi-Rez tries to monetize it. The most obvious is having loot boxes, and while gambling in games is a big issue for me, I don't mind it much here because the other cosmetics make up for it. Every character has at least 2 skins, including a weapon camo, which are purchasable with earned in-game gold. The rest are either directly purchased with the premium currency gems or given out from chests. Not once will you feel pressured to buy anything, though. There are plenty of skins you can earn as a free player, not to mention the mastery skins, which are only obtainable through playing excessive amounts of a particular character. Now, this sounds pretty standard fare, but Hi-Rez didn't stop there. They created a daily deal which resets every 24 hours. This deal is made up of 3 random cosmetic items. It can be purchased for $8, and it is unique to each player. Sometimes you can find 2 skins which entirely change the look of your character, some even going as far as changing the voice lines. There is a minimum of one character skin in these deals every day, and more often than not, I would see two really awesome skins in the same deal. As you can see, there are a myriad of options to produce monetized content for the player which do not harm the overall experience or make the player feel like they're missing out. The main thing I want you to take away from the previous section is how those who do not spend extra money on the game aren't left behind. If you already provide great default customization options, there isn't too much harm in slapping a price tag on some future skins. However, even if a game has the minimum requirements for what I would consider good cosmetics, that does not give them a pass to overcharge for premium skins. We come now to the negative portion of the critique. In this section, I will be highlighting issues I have with specific types of cosmetic monetization that either restrict player freedom, treat the player like a wallet with legs, or just plain don't feel like they should even exist. Although I may be pretty harsh on these examples, that does not mean I think the games themselves are bad. Furthermore, just because I have a problem with a monetization scheme does not mean I believe a customer of that system is bad for engaging with it. At the end of the day, it's your money that you earned, and you may spend it on whatever you wish. You can exercise your freedom to buy what you want, just as I can exercise my freedom to criticize the product you purchased. With all that out of the way, let's get on to our first example. For those that don't know, Halo Infinite uses an armor core system. This means that you can only use armor pieces that match your core. Head 1 only works on Core 1, etc. As a result, the player has a less unique looking armor set. This is fundamentally opposed to the idea of customization because it prioritizes developer content over player choice. Not only does Infinite feature a horrendous challenge system for leveling, but it also uses one of the worst customization systems you can think of. From a corporate perspective, it probably made a lot of sense. I can easily imagine the money men of 343 sitting around a big table devising a way to make you buy the same cosmetic twice. As bad as the Halo Infinite system is, there are other monetization techniques which are more traditionally evil. In Valorant, you can expect to pay far too much for what amounts to basic recolors.
What is that? What is that? What is that? What is that? Is that fun? Is that what I think it? Is that what I think it is? Is that fucking blue? Is that fucking blue? What is this? Oh, I'm sorry. It's fucking shiny blue. Oh, well, fucking that is... Oh, that's great now, isn't it? Oh, well, good for you.
Since it is such a direct ripoff, many were quick to spot it for the scam that it was. Both Halo Infinite and Valorant are free-to-play games which some may try to use to defend monetization. This is why it's important to make the distinction between hating the price and hating the concept. As we saw with Paladins, you can absolutely make a free-to-play model that generates revenue and does not disrespect the player. Unfortunately for Overwatch 2 players, Blizzard decided to take a page out of Valorant's book. Somehow, Blizzard actually managed to make the monetization in their big update to Overwatch worse than loot boxes. Even though these items are now direct purchases, they are laughably overpriced, sometimes costing more than it would have taken to obtain similar items in loot boxes from the original game. Not only are free players restricted to a hard cap of earnable currency, ensuring they cannot simply earn these skins at an appropriate rate, but the skins themselves are around only for a limited time. In short, Overwatch 2 has a terrible monetization model. Since we're on the subject of Blizzard, let's take a quick sidestep into the territory of Activision proper. Waifu guns, gorilla suits, golden blood. Call of Duty in recent years has had a lot of variety added to the customization options for players. The only problem is that the pricing is not made as a result of the work, but rather the work is being used as a justification for the price. Every dragon gun in the shop represents an investment of time that the developers could have put into something else. There's simply so much going on with both cosmetics and gameplay that it makes the price tag for these features feel forced. This may sound strange. How can a game have too much content? Isn't that a good thing? Well, not necessarily. In fact, it actually harms the gaming industry more than it helps the COD community due to the number of developers stuck working away on the next Warzone Season Pass instead of being allowed to put their time into genuinely innovative products. The worst part of current Call of Duty customization? It can actually impact your gameplay.
All right, so pull up the genome editor. Pull it up. Can we all agree that this is a beautiful looking gun?
Yeah, I like it. I like the red flames.
And then it changes over time. It looks cool. All right.
Barrels fire.
The barrel's fire, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Give me a second. I'm gonna make it meta. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna try to make it look cool though. I'm gonna use the other things that I've purchased. Maybe as like this radiodyne. No, I'm not really feeling it. Hold on. Let me see. Head of state maybe. This is the best with the colors. Stock. Okay, let's go ahead and get rid of that stock. And then tight grip and wick. Here we go. There it is. Oh, she's a beaut.
Let me see it. Send it in the Discord.
Because, boys, I am... This shit's fire, cuz.
Bro. That's ass.
I'm over it. I'm fucking over it. Like, oh my god, this is so cool. I really like this part of the gun. The gun looks great. Too bad this is the barrel that you have to run. This barrel's meta. Like, it's been too long. Just make the guns look cool. I don't care.
There is, of course, the infamous rose skin, which makes the player harder to see, especially in Warzone. However, there is also a problem with the best guns in the gunsmith needing specific attachments. This means that even if you spend money on a cosmetic item, you may not get to use it properly since you must use the meta setup to keep up with other players. Seriously, how is there not a setting for don't make my gun look fugly just so I will die less? MMOs have been letting players transmog their items for years. Luckily, all is not lost in the world of gaming customization, as there are several instances where games did something that worked well for both the player and the developer. This section will show what we used to have in video games, which proves that it would be just as feasible today as it was years ago. This will also highlight what I think should be the new standard for cosmetics moving forward. Let's take a trip down memory lane, all the way back to 2010. Black Ops 1 had some nice cosmetic options and allowed the player full control not only over when they unlocked a particular item, but tied that system to an earnable currency. COD points, as they were called, would be used to buy weapon camos as well as face paints. These points were obtained from performing well in normal matches or winning in the all-new wager matches. With this system, the player felt rewarded for investing time into the game because they could look forward to buying that skull face paint or tiger camo.
So, you made your choice. Yes, well, great minds do think alike.
Black Ops 1 may have done it first, but Halo Reach definitely did it better, offering near endless options to mix and match your armor until your Spartan really was your Spartan. Like the aforementioned COD, players of Reach would earn currency based on performance while also getting random bonus currency occasionally after finishing a match. This system was not entirely currency-based though, as some cosmetics were still locked to challenges to be completed in either the campaign or multiplayer. This would unlock the corresponding piece of gear. By doing this, it allowed players to choose how they looked with as little or as much effort as they were willing to put into the game. If you played good, you looked good. Jumping back to Call of Duty, we see Treyarch once again evolve their cosmetic system. First, Black Ops 1 used COD points to style up your soldier. Next, Black Ops 2 offered tons of earnable camos, but also some cheap extras on the side. When it was time for the third installation of the series, the devs saw it as an opportunity to expand their now famous emblem creation system. This feature was known as the Paintsmith. In it, the player could design their own custom camos, which could then be shared across the world with others. This was nearly peak design for camos in Call of Duty. The only thing holding it back was that it would only be applied to about 25% of the overall weapon. Regardless, this system was fantastic and is actually the basis for what I consider to be the new standard for customization in gaming.
Let us keep this civilized.
Welcome to the party.
With you till the end!
Needles up.
Stay alive.
Moonbreaker is a brand new tabletop-inspired mini-battling game. Your roster of crewmates attack the enemy captain while guarding your own captain in a sort of free-roam chess scheme. The strategy aspect is great, but you want to know the real kicker to this game? The textures of the models are entirely up to you. Since it is inspired by real-life miniature tabletop gaming, it was basically mandatory that the devs let you paint your own minis. Even if you suck at painting, it's not a problem because you can just download a friend's paint code to use their color scheme on your roster. 6 unique brushes, which act similar to their real-world counterparts, a palette tab for saving custom color configurations, and a mixing tab to create your own custom colors. This is just one great example for the future of player-driven customization. Halo's Forge, Minecraft's Voxels, the entire Little Big Planet series, or Moonbreaker's mini painting. It doesn't matter what you call it, it's all about giving the player outlets for their own creativity. Robust systems like this can easily be monetized as well. Do you want metal paints, emissives to make glowy bits? How about whole new parts to mix and match on your mini? All of these items could be sold for a couple of bucks a piece, and no one would think twice as long as the underlying system was fun to interact with. Not to mention, if you made a system like this for the player to use, then there is no reason the developer can't use it too. Why do your texturing in other software, then import it, when you can just do it in the game and cut out the middleman? Textures are just one component though. COD players have already demonstrated they are more than willing to slap together different attachments in the gunsmith. So why not have an armor smith, vehicle smith, and any other kind of smith you can think of? Let your devs spend their time making parts for the players to kit bash their own unique look out of, instead of trying to think up the next meme you can slap onto a riot shield. In conclusion, there is no reason for player agency and monetization to be at odds with each other. These were never supposed to be mutually exclusive ideas. If done right, game devs could utilize a combination of part swapping, texture painting, and shareable files to make players not only enjoy playing, but also creating in these digital spaces. We've already seen this happen with the Steam Workshop, but that's a topic for another time. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you did, then do the usual. Like, subscribe, check out my streams, and I will see you guys in the next video. Reaper the Rager, signing off.